Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Today we're pressing Meekins because why not? Well, it's actually the only thing we can do. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with the knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter? The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people. Sorry, I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking to them, sir. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Oh, fudge, dog. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. Oh, that's good, because you shouldn't be a police officer, I think. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as seeing... Oh my god, having seen or not seen it. Since his face cannot be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stance as disturbing or... Meekins. Yeah. What the hell are you handcuffed to your choker or something? Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir! You claim the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you were positive it was him. Yo, I mean, that's a good point. Are these lockers? Is there no other way to open them? No, sir! I tried all kinds of methods in the past. I'm kind of a kleptomaniac. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. Can there be multiple fingerprints? Registered? I wonder what kind of method he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir! And this too! How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. I guess everyone has to have their elite resources, right? They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. You have romantic troubles. Meekins, I find that hard to believe. You're so charming. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him! No one else could have unlocked it! This all sounds true enough, but the victim's body was found in the prosecutor's office. There has to be a mistake somewhere. The real thing's so much more intense than in the movies. Here, you can use the player to watch it as much as you like. The security video? Maybe I should take another look at the footage. Oh. Okay, so we're at the start again. Check. I mean... Okay. Nice flag there, buddy. Well... I mean, I don't know how we'd even test this, though. I mean, he does have kind of sideburns in mind. Do I have to show the video? on like, mean, we can see the side of his face. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't get to that one. We questioned here, and then we went back to the beginning. Is that true? However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir! Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important to this case, sir! I mean, it was his hand that opened the lock print, or fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir! My unsettled state can testify enough for that, sir! Yes, you have a point. This footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with that. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Oh, okay. I mean, clearly there's a problem, I guess. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Objection! Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us the alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. I mean, I was gonna do that anyways, so I brought it up, yeah? I would imagine. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. Just think you're like a YouTube video critic or something. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand to watch this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? That's a good goddamn question. He's in charge of, like, recruiting police officers, too, right? How horrible is that? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Oh, okay, so I can rewind, pause, and fast forward, and then I can press Y to present. Okay. Do 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 do. I don't like how that's. I don't like how that does that. Although we saw nothing there. And there's Meekins. God, this music is awful. Meekins, stop covering his face! Alright. Well, this is like the end of the video, right? So I should probably rewind. See if I can find anything else. Pause. Light? That should only be on when you open it, right? The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir! Do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Yeah, I mean, it was already open. But it looks very closed, right? I guess it's not closed all the way. What a way to drain the battery and ruin the light bulb. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Maybe we didn't have the such a slow way, but sure. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. My honor, Your Honor, all of our honors. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have been broken down. Or must have broken down, of course. I am not an expert on this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunctions. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. Alright, so then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yeah, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the system sensor? Say, there's something else that seemed out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too! There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Okay. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker was unlocked. Mr. Wright, please point out... Okay. I was gonna read that, but sure. Fast forward a little bit. This is the glove that we picked up. Maybe that was keeping it? Like, here? That was like jammed in the door? Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. You didn't have to rewind that far, game. See, that makes me feel like this was, like, I don't know, like someone was controlling the blue badger, how it's, like, stalled like that. Like where its face was for so long. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. I mean, it's black and white video, so it could actually be, like, any color. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open... Yes, objection, exactly. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? I don't know why we're watching this again. Yeah, I know, we just saw that! This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor! Oh, I understand now, sir! It's just like my tie! 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir! Holy God. Thank you, Your Honor. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. Oh, it's a rubber glove then. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But as a crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator you don't mean... I think I've finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the door? Clearly it was the blue badger. No. Blue bladder, huh? It would be this thing, yes. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that this was the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened the locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! I mean, at least you're honest now. I mean, I don't think you're being dishonest to cover anything. I just think you're an idiot. So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the defense evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. In fact, I'm not even sure where I am. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Yes. Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2, Electric Boogaloo. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, you must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had to use his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, yes, without a doubt this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end! Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Alright, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Alright. Okay. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe that this to be a rock solid, do you? Yes, sir! Solid as a rock, sir, and as my head! If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd give the V sign for victory, sir! I need to use your other hand. Oh, wait, you can use your other hand. Give me the megaphone. You don't need it. I'm like 3 feet away from you. Can you just use his right hand for that? Yeah! Let's hear him out fully. No! As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir! That card this card right next to my cuff, sir! Why is your cuff so wrapped around? Oh my god. I keep it so I won't get it lost, sir! But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Let it be noted, this is the record that witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman. What's this matter? What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. He's like, yes, it is. So it is, Your Honor. Not the prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he done it all this time. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mummy, is that man in blue murder? Don't stare at him, sweetie. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth! It must be so difficult for him. Okay, this is the last one. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir! He didn't show me any ID card, sir! Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked! Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is so far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show him what we've got. I mean... We have his ID card. Oh, we're at the end. Jesus, okay. Yeah, we have his ID card. But, no, we have his ID card. Yeah, we found it at the scene of the crime in the prosecutor's office, which took place at the same time. So... Wait a moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir! I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It is a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half complete. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high possibility. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require that much thought, which is good for everyone here. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order. Does this prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Like the television channel? Allow me to summarize the defense argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yeah. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Miss Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in the video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Ms. Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the very moment the defendant used the murder weapon. I mean, yeah. I mean, she already confessed to it. But sure. There's definitely some fuckery going on. Absolutely. We also have the fingerprints, right? I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... Fade to black. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this one? Object! Objection! One moment, Your Honor. But now, Mr. Wright, don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into that prosecutor's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. So did they crawl out? Like underneath the camera? I mean, I guess so. But there's no blood stain there. I assume he crawled out and, like, pulled himself up? However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We're not prepared. How? Like, I get it, a person can't be at two places at once, but if someone is dressing up as the murdered victim and pretending to be them at the same time the victim is murdered, guess what, buddy? The shit's related. We have not prepared any further witnesses for this incident. This might just be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activity that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? This dog, yeah? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Woo! Recess! Let's play dodgeball! Hi, Lana. How's it going? Well, like, hold that thought, because that's the end of the episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, press like below. If you're not subscribed yet, one of my videos, I can check out some of the content, see what you're liking. Once again, thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great day.